Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Scoreboard. I am your host, Brigham Harris, for today's episode. It is Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. We're still in that phase of getting used to saying 2022 as it is a brand new year. And as you know, in the middle of winter season, we've got a whole lot of sports going on, especially basketball, wrestling, some winter sports as well, hockey. Great time to be a sports director here. Very excited about it. Let's talk a little bit about it. This week in sports, we've got a handful of exciting things coming your way, especially when it comes to Park City High School. Now, the boys basketball team not going to be playing at all this week. There was some COVID concerns with some players, so we are not going to see the Miners boys basketball team here for a little while. But the girls team, however, they play the Brighton Bengals tonight at 7 o'clock. That is going to be at Brighton High School. Wish them the best of luck. Also with Park City High School, with some wrestlers, we have Stone Combs as well as Annika Futch going to the All-Star Duels at the Utah Valley University. Very big wrestling school, and we wish them the best of luck. Awesome, huge tournament. Honestly, one of the biggest wrestling tournaments of the year, and we are very excited to have two Miners head down there. Speaking of wrestlers heading to UVU over the next couple of days, over at Wasatch High School, there are 4 wrestlers for the Wasps that will be representing at Utah Valley University, looking to go and make a name and really do a good job there. Blake O'Rulian got to sit down with a handful of them before the tournament and talk about how big the duels were for them, and you can catch all of them again at UVU. That's going to be tonight, all day today, Tuesday again, the 11th of January. Handful of our wrestlers headed out there. As for boys basketball, they have their region home opener against Salem Hills, so we wish them the best of luck. And the girls team is still continuing to play over at Wasatch as well. They're starting region play here very soon as well, taking on American Heritage tonight. Again, most basketball games, and in this case both, are at 7 p.m. You can catch those we're going to have recaps of those next week, so be excited for that. As for South Summit High School, girls basketball is going to be taking on Morgan here very soon. We wish them the best of luck. Reagan Sanderson has got 15 points per game. She's one of the standouts out there for the Wildcats. And as for the boys, they're battling a 500 right now, meaning they're 6-6 on the year. Also opening up their region play with Morgan High School. Very, very tough team, so we wish them the best of luck as well. They're also going to be seeing a wrestler at the Utah All-Star Duels as well. So again, lots of very talented wrestlers in our area. Only 150 or so wrestlers get invited to this tournament, and we've got about 7 of them just from our 4 schools, so we wish them the best of luck. Very, very talented athletes out there. And last but not least, North Summit, mostly boys and girls basketball is what we're talking about up there. Trey Pace still dominating. The number 2 scorer in the state had an outstanding buzzer beater from half court the other day to seal their victory, their lead at halftime. So very exciting stuff coming out of there. Boys basketball will take on North Sevier Friday at 7 o'clock, and same for the girls team. They will also take on North Sevier this week. So we wish all those teams the best of luck. You're watching the Scoreboard right here. We're going to have a lot more updates, interviews, a whole lot coming at you on this jam-packed episode of the Scoreboard. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you back here in just a few.
The Scoreboard is proudly sponsored by Andrea Cox Mortgage. Welcome to First Rate Mortgage.
My name's James, and I've been in the market for mortgages several times over the years, so I've gone through the process with different people. And when I met Andrea, she explained to me why my current loans were subpar and how she could get better loans with better rates.
If I had to describe Andrea in one word, I think I would use the word passionate. She is very passionate about what she does and getting the right solutions for her clients, and that made her an absolute pleasure to work with.
Hi, I'm Andrea Cox. You can reach me at 435-631-9262. Call me, text me, or you can reach me at my website, andreacoxmortgage.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Brigham Harris, and today on this January 11th episode, We've got a whole lot of diverse sports to talk about. We just mentioned This Week in Sports. Lots of our teams are playing basketball. There's also a wrestling tournament happening today. But now we're going to take things a little bit to more of a summer sport. The Wasatch Lacrosse Club, or Wasatch LC, you may know them on Instagram. They have a very popular social media page. They are where a handful of our local high school lacrosse players go play club, from Park City High School to Wasatch High School. A handful of our athletes heading down there, and I got to catch up with the founders of the club in Ricky and Danny Larkin. So we'll head over to my interview with those two right here. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. Brigham Harris here on the Scoreboard, and we are joined right now by Danny and Ricky Larkin, the CEOs, the founders, the guys on top of the mountain of Wasatch Lacrosse Club. Guys, thank you both so much for taking some time with me.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah,
of
thanks
course.
for having us.
Of course, yeah. Let's talk a little bit about it, because Wasatch Lacrosse Club is basically the premier destination for lacrosse in the state of Utah. Tell me just a little bit about what got you guys started in the first place.
Yeah, so what got us started was really, we just wanted to, give back to the players in Utah and give them an opportunity that we never had when we were in high school. So we played club, but it wasn't there weren't that many opportunities. There was only one tournament they went to, didn't really travel to the East Coast, and we played college in Pennsylvania, and we know that the level of lacrosse is a lot higher on the East Coast. And so, we wanted to basically just be able to give more players from Utah an opportunity to play out there, to show, themselves what, kind of the level they're at, and then give them an opportunity to get exposure to potentially play college lacrosse on the East Coast, just like we did.
Yeah. What high school did you guys go to? Where did you guys grow up?
We went to Olympus High School, grew up in Holiday, Utah. And so, yeah, born and raised here, and then just have always been huge lacrosse guys. Our older brother was on the first team at Olympus High School back in 1997. And then we started playing youth lacrosse that same year, basically. So it's been playing forever, and just kind of wanted to get into it. And that's how we started it.
That's awesome. So lacrosse obviously runs deep in the Larkin bloodline, it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the family sport. You guys play at family, events and get-togethers and stuff like that. It sounds like everyone's got some pads and some sticks at home. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure. Our oldest brother played in college. He played for Utah State. And our next oldest brother also played in high school. So yeah, we all the boys in our family played lacrosse. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, great sport for sure.
Yeah. Tell me just a little bit about the program that you guys run. I mean, how many kids do you take in every year and teach how to play lacrosse, or how many players, how many teams, coaches? Just give me the rundown if you could.
Yeah, so every year we probably have around 100 players that come through our program. That's boys and girls. And that's just throughout the summer and fall and winter. And, it's basically a conglomerate of players from around Utah. And, normally we don't have the players from the best high schools. We usually have the best players from high schools that aren't the typical front runners for state championships and things like that. So we're giving a lot more players from those schools that aren't getting the normal exposure to get their opportunity to play with some really good players, and show the level of talent that they have when they get on the field with higher level players.
Danny, tell me just a little bit about some of your players you guys have right now that you're maybe most excited about to see them go play at the next level.
Yeah, we have a lot. I think boys, we have 17 boys committed to play in college, and we have 10 girls right now that are all seniors in high school. And we have, I think, 6 or 7 that are going to, 6 or 7 boys that are going to Westminster, 2 or 3 girls going to Westminster. So they're staying local. And then we have a handful of boys that are committed to Utah Valley. And then 2 of our girls are committed to Dominican College out in California. And let's see, we have, trying to think just kind of off the top of my head, we have 2 players coming to Aurora in Illinois. So players are going all over the country, which is awesome to see. And, it's players from all different high schools too. So it's been awesome to see our our seniors progress. Like last year we had, I think, around the same amount of numbers of boys and girls went and played in college. So it's like every year we're trying to push that like 10 to 15 at least boys and girls in our program to go play in college.
Tell me about some of the success you guys have already seen in the program. I mean, do you guys, I know you guys travel way far back east into California, all around the country for these tournaments and these showcases. Tell me about some results you guys have seen in the last few years.
Yeah, so I can say just had some definitely really solid results. When we started this team, we had some players that were really good players that went back east with us and kind of helped us get a foothold. We played this team from Pennsylvania called Duke's Lacrosse Club, and they just absolutely smashed us kind of a couple of years after we started our team. And I believe it was last summer we went back east and we played them. We ended up beating them in a tournament game after just getting demolished by them the first year we went out there. And so that's kind of a stepping stone. We're still looking for kind of like a big East Coast, big name victory. But, our teams every year, they're getting better and better. We have a team full of freshmen and sophomores who this fall, they've won at least 50% of their games in every tournament we played in against some of the nation's top competition. And so they're going out and proving themselves against, competition here in Utah, out in California, out east, and, getting in front of a lot of big name teams too. So that's kind of the biggest thing about our team is that, we don't always come away with victories against some of these teams, but we're out there playing against the biggest club name teams in the country. I mean, really the world, when you consider lacrosse and America is the biggest lacrosse epicenter in the world. So, playing some of the best teams in the world, and it's been really good for our team and our players to just, they can just let a college coach know that they play for our team, and a college coach can know right away kind of what level they're at and what type of teams they got to play against, and they can find out really quick if that's the type of player they want in their program. So that really bodes well for us playing against all those really high level teams.
Danny, Ricky, thank you guys so much. Now, the second half of that interview, as it was a lengthy interview, is going to be shown here in just a few minutes, but we're going to head to break, and when we come back, we're going to catch up with one of the most successful wrestling coaches in the state of Utah, Wade Disher, down there at Wasatch High School. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Scoreboard.
Hi, I'm Jim Bisley, owner of Park City Rental Properties. For over 20 years, we've helped homeowners manage, market, and rent their properties in the Park City area. We have over 250,000 repeat guests and social media followers. Plus, our websites are ranked #1 for thousands of internet searches. This brings loyal guests back year after year, and your properties are easily found online. Our local team of experts is here and ready to help. Let us prepare a detailed rental performance analysis for your home that shows its true rental income potential.
Everybody, welcome back into the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Brigham Harris. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to send things right on over to Blake O'Rulian, our field reporter, who got to sit down with, again, one of the most successful wrestling coaches in the state of Utah, Wade Disher. We'll send it over to Blake.
The chances that the sport of wrestling can give to you, it's different than any other sport. I was just thinking about it right now. It's one of the only sports that can give you, something to show that you've done this your entire life.
You got beat up.
Yeah. and did something difficult, but at the same time, it's just as rewarding. Yeah. What a beautiful thing to be able to be a part of and be able to impact so many kids. What is it about this season that gets you excited? What is it about this roster, this set of kids that you have? I mean, you've had hundreds, if not thousands, of wrestlers come through this program over the years. What is it about this year that you're excited about?
I'm actually, to be honest with you, these kids right now, they're just a really great bunch of guys that care about each other. When you have that, I think everything's possible. We're coming into this season in 5A. We're the underdog. Right, you have Uinta, who's got they got a really strong lineup, returning 4A state champs. Now they're coming up to 5A, and Payson, who beat us last year, and we've had these rivalries with these schools. And I really think the potential of this group. Hopefully, we realize that by the end of the season, because we do have some kids that have over the course of the COVID years have actually put a lot of time in. remember, gosh, it was 2020. We already had our state tournament, and you know that spring things were shut down for a while. Our club was shut down in the spring, but we started coming back in, and kids just started coming in, and it was like, we don't know when this is going to end. We don't know that if they're going to shut this down or shut that down or whatever. So we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, and some kids took full advantage of that. Made a trip out to Iowa for a national tournament in like October of 2020. Then we started our season, and it's like we took a step backwards. We had a little more freedom with the club. Then we had the school. We had to be testing every week, and tournaments weren't like they normally were. But then we got through the spring again, and then kids were competing in some national tournaments out in like Virginia, and where else did we go? Disney. We went to Disney World, national duels. Yeah. Kids competed back in Fargo, where I grew up. There's a big national tournament in July. And so there's, I would say, half dozen of our wrestlers really developed. They were, freshmen, sophomores, now they're juniors and seniors who took that time to really become skilled and very good at wrestling. And there's been, I wouldn't say surprises for me, but I think people are starting to realize that, okay, wait a second, these guys are pretty dang good.
For all these years that you've had success, there's a lot of contributing factors, obviously, but what do you think makes Wasatch High School wrestling so successful and continually successful over the years that you've been here?
Yeah, I think there's a little luck there too, but the work you put in and the preparation, I think, having the right purpose in what we do. I think that's a huge part of it. The community, the tradition. Then you have the structures of the program too. I think it played a big part of it, and always trying to make it better. I don't think, if it was done this way 20 years ago, it doesn't work that way today. Right. You know what I'm saying? We've had to adjust with our different levels of the program, and being able to now, really for the first time, even since I've started, where we've had from top to bottom a really strong coaching staff all the way through, the right people in the right places. I really think so. I think for years to come, it's going to get better. I really do. I don't think we have the gaps right now. And we've had gaps before, within certain parts of the program, and it's like, and sometimes you can't do anything about it. All you have to do is like, you see it coming, and it's like, try to make it better. When I say gaps, I'm talking about kids that have the experiences, and you got a good core of kids, and you just try not to have those gaps. Yeah. But sometimes they come, and you just write them out.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate getting to talk to you guys. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you. Yeah.
Blake and Coach Disher, thank you guys so much for that interview. Wish you the best of luck. Again, you can catch Wade Disher and 4 of his wrestlers at the Utah All-Star Duels. That's tonight at Utah Valley University. So we wish him and his program the best of luck. Blake, thank you again so much for the interview. When we come back on the Scoreboard, we'll show the second half of that interview with the 2 founders of one of the most successful lacrosse clubs in the state of Utah, and it's one of the fastest growing. They head back east to tournaments all the time, a national showcase of lacrosse competition, and we're excited to see that second half interview coming at you in just a few.
Hi, I'm Dr. Melissa, and I've been working in the field of psychiatry for over 20 years. TMS, or transcranial magnetic stimulation, has become an important tool in mental health care in the past decade. TMS is a non-invasive treatment that treats specific regions of the brain involved in mood, anxiety, and thinking abilities.
I've tried several different medicines over the years to treat my depression and anxiety, kind of getting to the end of the list of what I can try. TMS became available.
We believe in treating the whole person, not just symptoms, and we offer multiple tools for your wellness journey.
TMS treatment has helped me tremendously with my depression. It has made me be able to live life again, and for that I'm grateful.
Contact our office to learn more. Find out if TMS is right for you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Brigham Harris. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to send things right back over to that interview with Ricky and Danny Larkin, the founders of Wasatch Lacrosse Club.
I mean, you mentioned how
how earlier lacrosse is better, on the East Coast, and it's kind of rising here in Utah. I think a lot of that probably is thanks to you guys starting this club, making sure these kids get the exposure. Danny, let me ask you maybe, why do you feel like Utah, and I don't know, I'm not, a huge follower of lacrosse. I enjoy watching it from time to time, but I feel like Utah has done really well in the past few years with, making making lacrosse accessible to a lot of kids. Why do you feel like that is? I feel like Utah's doing pretty well.
Yeah, so about 5 years ago, the University of Utah, they got men's lacrosse as a Division I team as a school sport, and that is what kind of changed in Utah as the state of Utah, because then the UHSAA, they sanctioned lacrosse as a high school sport about 2 years later. And so last season was like the first full season as sanctioned sport. And I think that a lot of, boys and girls in the state of Utah are saying that, hey, it's a school sport rather than just a club sport. So now I'm like have a reason to play it rather than just, playing some sport that's just a club. So I think like that's been a huge part of the growth. And there's a lot of high schools that have gotten teams in the last 2 years that never had lacrosse in the past because of, it getting sanctioned in Utah. So that's been huge. And then, I know, pro lacrosse is getting bigger. And this summer there was a pro lacrosse event here in Utah. The PLL came to Utah. And so things like that, it's starting to really pick up here. And I think it's just a new sport that, players are seeing that, hey, it's like, I'm not going to get as many concussions as I would like playing football, for example, or if I am playing football, it's a great like off-season sport for that, and so that's kind of a big thing that we're hopefully going to start pushing in Utah with the football players here.
Yeah. Well, you guys have grown an insane amount over the past couple of years, and I imagine the goal is to continue to grow and build. Ricky, tell me a little bit about what maybe some up and coming high school or even younger kids. Tell me just a little about who is allowed to join, what age group, and then maybe what kids can do to find out about, tryouts or how to get in contact with you guys if they do want to play lacrosse.
Yeah, so players who are either currently in ninth grade or who are going to be in ninth grade next school year, those are players that we're looking at and older, sorry, up through seniors. So that would be the youngest age. So players in ninth grade are going in ninth grade and then up through seniors. And, we're really looking for the best players possible. We want to, like I said, we want to play against the best clubs. So really the best players at those ages. And the way they can find out about us is big things through our social media on our Instagram page. And that's just at Wasatch LC. And we have about 10,000 followers on our page. And so we're getting, a lot of traction. Just this in last year alone, we probably had a few 100,000 up to 500,000 views on our page, just across all of our videos. So our players are getting a lot of exposure. And so they get to come on our Instagram and they can check that out and they can message us through there, or they can go to our website, which is wasatchlc.com. And we have all of our tournament information on there and just kind of like ways to email us and things like that. But really the Instagram is a big way for the players to, interact with our page. They can direct message us, they can contact us, or they can comment on videos and things of such sort. So that's a really good way for younger players to get on our radar.
Awesome.
Well, and I was just gonna say with tryouts too, if they want to find out about tryouts, like, we just posted our tryouts 2 days ago. And, if you stay up to date on our website or watch our social media, tryouts are coming up. So it's like, if you're interested in playing with our team, you definitely would want to come to those so we could see any players for this upcoming summer.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, last thing, maybe Danny, tell me a little bit about the season that's coming up, when it's going to be, and maybe some goals you guys have for up and coming, if there's state tournaments or national tournaments, all that stuff.
Yeah, we have a big summer ahead. Our girls program, we are doing 3, really big name tournaments. One is in June. It's in Maryland. It's like a big, huge recruiting tournament called the IWCLA Champions Cup. And then we are going to the U19 Vail Shootout in Colorado. And then in July, we're going back to Virginia to play in the IWCLA Capital Cup, and that's also another really big recruiting tournament. And then for the boys side, we have a pretty busy summer too. Our first tournament is in New York, so we're traveling to New York at the end of June to play in a tournament there, and then we go straight from New York to Colorado to play in the Vail Shootout. So we have one team playing in the Vail Shootout, and then our younger boys team will be playing in a local tournament called the Legends Western Invitational that week. And then after that, we are traveling back to the East Coast to Maryland to play an Inside Lacrosse Invitational and then the Pinnacle Lacrosse Summer Championships. And those are both in Maryland. It's like a week-long trip we're doing to the East Coast.
Wow.
So it's pretty jam-packed from like the mid-June to mid-July.
Yeah. Sounds like you guys got a busy 6, 7, 8 months ahead of you. So we'll definitely check in with you guys. I really appreciate it. Again, Ricky and Danny Larkin with Wasatch Lacrosse. Thank you guys again so much for taking the time joining us, and I'm sure we'll chat very soon.
Ricky, Danny, thank you guys so much for that interview. Again, I got to learn so much about the state of lacrosse and lacrosse in the state of Utah, one of the fastest growing sports right now, and Wasatch Lacrosse Club, one of the fastest growing clubs in the state of Utah. The tournaments they go to in the summer are no joke. You heard them. If you want more information on Lacrosse Club, Wasatch Lacrosse Club, you can head to their website or check them out on social media. We'll be right back on the Scoreboard.
Experience the ultimate vacation at this luxurious mountain getaway with ski-in, ski-out access to Park City Mountain Resort. I'm Stephanie J. This is the Opulent Minute. The Colony is a private community sitting on 4,600 acres of pristine alpine terrain, lush forests, sparkling streams, and Utah's world-famous powder. The property features exquisite accommodations and amenities for a corporate event or a secluded mountain retreat. The plaza level is all about entertainment. Sit back and enjoy the flat-screen TV or challenge friends and family to a tabletop game. Views from the deck are spectacular and unobstructed, as they are from nearly every room in the home. My favorite part of this house? Soaking up the mountain sun next to the pool. We'll see you next time on the Opulent Minute. Contact us today, opulentvacations.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back into the Scoreboard. I am your host, Brigham Harris. Today is January 11th, 2022. Again, still getting used to saying that. Now, we had an awesome episode today. Got to talk to a handful of athletes and coaches here in the Wasatch Back, but also in the Salt Lake area with Wasatch Lacrosse Club. We wish all of our athletes the best of luck heading to wrestling tournaments, heading to basketball tournaments, starting region play for most of our schools. So we wish them the best of luck. If you want to catch the Scoreboard, you can go to thescoreboardnation.com, watch all of our new or old episodes, or you can tune into Park City TV every Tuesday and Friday at 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. Until then, we'll see you next time right here on the Scoreboard.